Hi there, this is Vespasian and my trusty, slightly moronic sidekick. We decided that we would do a little, what's it called?
Q&A.
A Q&A. People leave comments on our videos and things and message me, so I thought we would sort of...
Q&A means question and answer.
I think they know that. Yeah. Anyway, and so we will do a little, a sort of video about answering the questions you've got. We do actually answer the questions on here. However, I'm rubbish at typing, and sometimes it's a really complicated answer and I get bored. So I'm just going to read a few. He's going to read a few off, and I'm going to answer them for you. So look, what is that first question?
Well, on the video, the first thing we're doing is the Hill Series Battle Report 17, Romans vs Dacians and Celts.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's awesome. It's awesome. It's cool. Right. Lionel Galias. Sorry if I can't pronounce your name. Sorry. Said.
Lionel Galias.
Could you make?
Hi, Lionel.
Could you make a new video on your Roman army, please?
Yes, and we've done it. We've actually just filmed one for you, just showing you what is in the Roman army and telling you a few bits about the rules. That's the Roman army there. We have actually filmed that already, and that will be going on, I think, actually before this video. So you already know if you saw it. Right, next.
This is a big one from John P. 4000.
Hi, John. I'm called John as well, so that's cool. Anyone John's cool.
Right. I might mess up while saying this.
Right, go for it.
Why do you allow chargers to shoot into combat? Defenders can do closing shots, but unaware of a rule for chargers to shoot as well. A charge is part of the command phase. So, if successful, the charging unit is in HTH.
Hand to hand.
Awesome. When the firing phase begins, and again can't shoot, I think this has a major impact on your games. The additional losses making your combats very decisive on average. In the games I have played, combats could run over 2 to 3 turns. Never seen the combats finish this quick. You are the first player I have ever seen to actually use the pig's head formation. Well played. I didn't notice this before, but do you paint your Roman shields designs?
That's quite a long one, so we'll do it bit by bit. Pig's head formation, yes. Pig's head is referred to by several Roman writers, and no one actually knows what it means. But it is sort of guessed that the pig's head is what you see in the video, which is where you get a unit and then 2 units behind it, which all support the forward unit. Which means technically you could have 4 units supporting 1. So that would give you an extra 12 combat dice. So that's pretty impressive. That's really impressive.
Very strong pig.
The downside to the pig's head is it commits most of your troops to 1 action. You're kind of stuck in the formation. You can break formation, but that starts to disintegrate quite quickly. So you really need to be confident that your enemy isn't going to be doing any flanking manoeuvres while you're in pig's head. And if they do, you need to win and keep pushing forward and turn your enemy that way or that way, so the enemy is always to the front. Can be very dangerous doing pig's head though, because bear in mind, if your unit breaks, then all the supporting units, that's up to 5 or 6 actual individual units, will all have to take a leadership test. So just keep that in mind. And that happened with one of the Jewish war ones, and my entire right flank just ran away. I just rolled 2s and 3s and I lost my entire flank. So can be dangerous. Next one. Do we paint the shield designs? Yes. That's simple. Yeah, there you go. Now, each legion is or each unit is a legion, from a legion, and the legion designs are the ones, as far as we know, that those individual Roman units used. As for the backing colour, you can't see from there, but these ones are red, and most of the rest are white. That one's green. That's the generally Romans wore white. That was the general uniform. The uniform colour was generally white, although there were locally sourced materials. I think I've said that in someone's email actually. So some units would actually use locally sourced colours, which would be greens or blues or reds. But most troops were in white. The shield is the thing that makes it different. So there you go. And what was the first bit? Something about shooting.
Why do you allow chargers to shoot into combat?
Yeah, simple. That's how it works. That's how it works in real life. Trying to explain it. Right. So you have Celts or Dacians. Dacians are Celts actually. These are Celts. You have your Celts charging into battle, and they charge the enemy. In real life, you don't run. If you run, by the time you reach your enemy, you're completely knackered, and your enemy will stab you to death. So that's not going to work. So in reality, you walk towards the enemy or jog towards the enemy. You get up to the enemy and then you reform, because moving across a large distance, your men get out of order. So you reform again into a shield wall. Then your javelin men come out. Most men carry javelins. You come out and throw your personal javelin at the enemy, and then go back into the shield wall, and then you charge. That's how it works in real life. And so that's why we allow shooting into combat, because that's actually what happened. As for receiving charges, roughly the same thing. So when you're receiving a charge, Roman legionaries will not stand still and allow the enemy to run into them. That never happened in real life. And if that did happen, then the Romans would lose. Generally, the Romans would wait for the enemy to get up to them. As soon as there were 20 yards, was it, or 40 yards? 20 yards?
20 yards.
20 yards. As soon as they're at 20 yards, they throw a light pilum, which is a standard pilum. It's a javelin with a lead end. And they throw the pilum, and the pilum sticks into the enemy's shields and either impales the enemy, which is always a good thing, or it renders the shield useless, because the pilum goes through the shield and bends, and you can't carry a shield with a pilum on the end of it. Then as your troops get even closer, which is moments before they actually impact the Romans throw their second pilum, and this is a weighted pilum, so it flies shorter distance, but it's heavy and it comes down at an angle. And what this does is the enemy, who still have shields, get up to the shield wall, they try and bring their shield down, and the heavier pilum comes down diagonally into their head and kills them. And any troops who put their shield up will stick in their shield, and then the shield's useless, and then the Romans simply stab them to death. Battle of Watling Street is a perfect example. The Romans lost, 300 men at Watling Street, yeah. And they killed 25,000 Celts and won. In Hail Caesar, the Romans take heavy casualties. So then we allow shooting of javelins, because that's what they were for. So has that explained it?
Yes, you explained it.
Did it make sense to you?
Yes.
Did it make sense to them?
If it made sense to my little tiny unsupported brain, then it would have made sense to everybody else.
Yeah. What else was there? There was something else in the question, wasn't there?
Defenders can do closing shots, but unaware of a rule for
the
charges,
closing shots. Yes.
To shoot as well.
Closing shots. Closing shots does not include the pilum or javelin. Closing shots is for artillery units like these, or bowmen, guys with long range weapons. And a closing shot is done at any unit that can fire. If the enemy is charging against them, then they fire a closing shot as the enemy come in. It's like a free ballistic shot. Because your artillery and your bowmen are not going to stand there and die. They're going to shoot at the enemy as much as possible. And I believe a closing shot has a -1 to hit, because it's panicked. It's a panic shot, so your troops are, we've been charged, let's fire off really quick. And also your enemy are charging towards you, so it's quite hard to just distance. So you might fire and the shots might land behind the enemy as they charge forward. Yeah, that was the thing about closing shots. Hence, we allow the shooting of javelins in close range. So,
Well, I think we're
that's
done now. We are starting to run out of time.
are we? Well, that was
Yes.
only 2 questions.
Yes, you took a while explaining that little thing there.
I was enjoying that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all this question?
That's the whole question. Yes, you explained the whole thing.
Right. So that's the end of that. Is that the end of this video?
We could do one more.
Go on one more then. Go on. What?
Right. Jean Paul Lee Gallius. It's not the same one, but I think the
Jean-Paul Legalius. Hello, Jean-Paul. How you doing? Awesome name. Next.
it's Jean Paul.
Jean.
I can't spell.
Well, I did French in school, and that's the
Right.
only thing I ever learned.
It would be a cohort, not a legion.
Ah, right. Cohort legions. I seem to remember reading something about this that someone wrote. Yes, it's probably you, actually, John. Yes. Right. When I call my units, I call them units. I call them units or legions or cohorts, whatever comes to mind when I'm moving it, to be honest. Regiments. Right. Cohorts is a subdivision of a legion. Legions are divided into cohorts, and in reality these would be centuries. So there would be 80 men, 1 figure to 4. So basically that would be a legionary unit of a cohort, and I think there were 10 cohorts in 10 centuries in a legion in a cohort.
Yeah.
And then 2 cohorts to a maniple, or 2 maniples to a cohort. So basically, they're just units. They're regiments, units, whatever you want. If you're doing a really small skirmish game, then they can actually be one man to one. Like if you're doing Vikings and stuff, then on the table this would be an entire one man to one man army. During the Dark Ages, this would be an army. In fact, I think the word army actually means 30 men, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, in Viking, army means 30 men, which is the maximum men you can fit on a boat. So an army is 30 men. In Roman period, you could have a single cohort fighting against thousands of Celts, in which case these would be about 1 in 4 men to every figure in real life, and the Gauls would be the same. Or you could scale upwards. So it's whatever I call them. It doesn't really matter. They're an active unit in Hail Caesar. That's all you really need to know. Right. So is that the end of that?
Oh yeah, that's the end of that.
Right, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please leave comments and more questions, and we will answer them. And I hope you enjoy me answering them. Anything to add for you? Well, questions about Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah, Romans are cool. Right, so that's it. Leave any comments in the comments bar. Click like if you like it, and do the other thing. What's the other thing?
The other thing is
Subscribe. That's it. And you'll do one of them. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.